Hey everyone, this is Angela from Bake It With Love, and today we're making our honey garlic pork chops. And these are a beautiful combination of a super moist and tender inside with a double crusted crunchy topping, and then we have our sweet and spicy sauce that goes over them. You can dip them in them, you can pour it over when you serve it, or brush it on like I do after my pork chops have rested. So I'm showing pretty much all the components here. We've got our flour and all the spices we're going to add for our flour mixture. In the center you've got the eggs and the water that we're going to use for part of our dredge station. And then off to the side we've got some of the stuff that we're going to use for our sauce. And first things first, we're going to start with making our flour mixture, which is some flour, salt and pepper, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground sage or rubbed sage works too, and then some smoked paprika and a touch of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch also the fact that ground nutmeg is amazing. Have one on hand at all times. I usually have a pack with about 4 or 5 ready to use, and they last for forever. So don't think that like if you buy them they're going to go bad or anything like that. Get them, they take your dish up a notch. And if you love ginger, don't be shy here. You could add a bit of fresh ginger to the sauce when we make that too. So we're just combining all of our spices into our flour here, and there you go, that fresh nutmeg. It smells amazing, it tastes amazing, it makes a difference. Definitely get some. So I'm going to finish grinding up my nutmeg into there, and then I'll give this a stir and set it aside, and then I'll mix the water into my eggs. I'm down to the butt of my nutmeg and it's hard to do that, so that one's going in the trash bin. You're just going to make sure that your flour and seasoning is all incorporated really well. I like to use a fork because I feel like it breaks up the chunks of seasoning or flour and all that really well, so that I have a nice even distribution of all my spices throughout my flour. Then we're just going to add some water into our eggs and beat those and set those aside for our dredging station, which is your flour and your eggs that you're going to dip your pork into before we add it into our frying pan with the oil that's being added now. I'm using peanut oil in this. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, safflower, whatever you want. You need a pretty good amount, so get that nice and hot and start dredging your pork chops. We're going to double dip these, so you dip it into your egg mixture, get that really well coated, and then take it into your flour and seasoning mixture and coat it, and then back into the eggs and back into the flour mixture before you add it to the hot frying pan with the oil. Do that for each of the pork chops, and then kind of clean up your workspace probably like I do. And we cook the pork chops for about 3 to 4 minutes per side. Of course, if you're using thicker pork chops, you would need to cook them a little bit longer per side. And I've only got my heat on the burner here. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's at a 4 or 5. So just below medium heat, and they are sizzling away. Since I'm using these thin cut pork chops, I'm only cooking them for 3 to 4 minutes per side. If you were using thicker pork chops, you might want to adjust that up to 4 to 5. As long as they're not super thick pork chops, then you would have to rethink that and maybe cook them a little bit longer. But if you're using about the same size as what you're seeing here, it's about 3 to 4 minutes, and you'll be able to tell because the crust, as it's cooking, the underside will be nice and golden. It won't be too browned, especially if we're using clean oil here. You should have a beautiful golden color. So that's what you're looking for. When you have that, it's pretty much ready to flip over. We're going to move on to starting the sauce here with a little bit of vegetable oil again, and then we'll add some ketchup and honey, soy sauce, and some pepper. And I'm going to cook that until it reduces just a bit, not much, just a little bit. I want to make it slightly sticky and kind of so that it's not runny, but a nice sticky. There's some garlic too. I'm putting my hand in to see if it's hot yet. So Anyway, cook your garlic pretty quickly. You don't want to leave it too long in there because even though it's oil, the garlic when you cook it's at a medium high. So when you cook the garlic, it's really apt to burn. It burns easily. So I try not to leave garlic by itself in a pan for too long usually. Okay, and once all your ingredients are in the saucepan, give them a quick stir and then start to adjust your heat, your temperature here. I started just a little bit above medium. I'm looking for a low simmer though. I want to simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes, but I want to bring it up to a simmer really fast. So you can start medium, medium high depending on your stove, and then adjust accordingly. You see me lifting the saucepan off from the heat. And this will continue to thicken when you remove it from the heat, but I'm looking for a nice sticky sauce. So I simmered mine for about 5 to 10 minutes. I think this was about 8 today. Worked out beautifully. We're going to go ahead and brush it onto our cooked pork chops here. Now you can dish these up by dipping them in the sauce completely if your saucepan or frying pan that you used to make the sauce was big enough. You can also drizzle this over the pork chops on the plate as you serve them, or put the sauce in a container on the side so that whoever's eating can dip it for as much sauce as they want on their pork chops. I like to brush it on. That's what we're doing here. I had my pork chops resting on a wire cooling rack over some paper towels, which makes for super easy cleanup. And I'm just going to finish brushing the sauce on and serve this up. I'm about to give up. You'll see me drizzle it over. And then you'll see the beginning of the video was when we sliced into these. And then we finally got to eat them. They're really good. I highly suggest you try those. So I'm really glad you were here today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of recipes coming up. We're doing daily uploads right now, getting caught up on some content. I hope you enjoy it all. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again soon.